everybody, welcome back. Wingman's Hangar, episode 26. If you're new to the show, we're pretty much a look at Star Citizen and everything related to Cloud Imperium games and the making of Star Citizen. Now, I'm not actually here today. I'm winging my way back from the Bahamas. But we're recording this episode. Can't miss an episode, baby! So we've got a really nice one this week. We've got coming up this week, the Week in Review. We've got forum feedback with more of your creative videos. We've got wide world news, tidbits from the world at large, and an interview with community manager and designer Ben Lesnick. Let's just get right to it. I am again in the Bahamas. Actually, probably while this show airs, I'm on a plane crying about leaving the Bahamas. So by then, I'll probably be back to my old standard fat weight and tan as a rascal. I hope to be anyway. Also, what are we doing this week? We've got a 24-hour live prep. We're prepping for the big 24-hour live stream 1 week from today. It's going to be really, really fun. We have a lot of stuff to reveal. Sandy's hard at work. Sandy and Ben are basically designing the whole thing. Chris and I are going to have a good time. It's going to be a lot of really fun reveals for the show. I think you guys are going to really, really like it. Please stay tuned. It's going to be amazing. Sandy was in town this week. She was filming the roundtables for the event I just mentioned. We have Fan Focus with Mike Sitler, Chiromancer on the boards. Take it away, Mike. You actually brought us some gifts today.
I did.
What? Well, tell everybody what you did, because it was amazing.
Well, I was in a chat with Brittany, and she had said she hadn't had any good Texas barbecue, and we had to remedy that. So I hopped down to Kreitz and brought you guys some gifts.
Now, how did you find out about us? That's an interesting story.
Originally, I found out that I had a tumor, which was a surprise, and that gave me some time off of work.
Wow.
So I was playing around on the internet. I found this thing called Kickstarter, and came across Richard Garriott's Shroud of the Avatar.
That's pretty cool. You know, Richard and Chris actually worked. We all actually worked at Origin, along with Mike, who's behind the camera. Say hi, Mike. There's Mike right there. A lot of ex-Originites here.
Yeah.
And so you found your way to Star Citizen, and you had to pledge.
I had to.
So what kind of ships do you own then? What's in your hangar?
Right now, I have a Constellation. I've got
beautiful ship.
A couple of Aurora LXs and a couple of people I'm trying to convince that they need them.
Now you've seen some pretty cool stuff today, right?
That was a surprise.
Yeah.
That was a surprise.
You've had a few sneak peeks. You think they're gonna like it?
I think they're really gonna like it.
Are you looking forward to the hangar coming up here this summer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you'll have the Auroras in there. You'll have the Connie in there.
You're gonna put the Starfarer and the M50.
Did you see the Starfarer? Did you get to see some?
I may have.
Well, did you now? What happened with the tumor?
The tumor was removed on April 12th. It is benign. It was
benign! Now, benign means?
Benign means it is not cancer.
Well, we want to thank you very much for showing up and coming down and taking a tour of the place, and especially thanks to the barbecue. And it's fans like you that make doing this all worth it.
Well,
thanks a lot, man.
The best development without the best fans.
That's exactly right. So where are we going to see him?
In the verse.
In the verse. Thanks, Chiromancer. Really, really good guy. He joined us for happy hour the next day, too. It was really, really a fun event. I think Ken Shadow was there, Glitch, him, Mike Nightingale. Always fun to hang out with the fans. Also, Peter Mackay just went over the edge. Thanks to you guys. Take a look at this.
Hi, I'm Michael with Pete Mackay, our very own weather wizard, who's going to be taking a trip 32 stories up and jumping over the edge for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. How you feeling now? You're about ready to go.
Yeah, it's almost go time. They're going to put me in the harness here in about 10 minutes. So
you're gonna get rigged up, and then they're going to take you up in the elevator and...
Yeah, they're rigging me up, and then they think there's a practice wall that they'll have me go down just to get used to how it feels, and then we go to the top.
So awesome. So yeah, this is the first time you've done something like this. Have you ever done any sort of high altitude sports before?
I have been skydiving before, so... You know, I mean, it seems like on one hand, it seems like that would be scarier than this, but for some reason, this is a little bit more nerve-wracking than that was.
No, I agree. I've been skydiving too, and when you're strapped to a jump master, you're in their hands. It's entirely up to them, and you trust them. But you're on your own now. You don't have anybody watching out for you. Well, there is a huge crew upstairs taking care of everybody.
Right, but I have to do it. It's like on my own. I I'm the one who's controlling the brake. So.
That's awesome. Well, so Pete's going to be going up in just a little bit, and we'll catch him on the other side. Any last words before you jump off the edge of a building?
Not really.
You guys won't be able to miss these pants. Pete with the crazy pants is heading down, and he's going on the blue rope.
Wow, look at you. Oh, they gave you champagne?
Yeah, champagne for accomplishing the journey.
That was, you're still shaking a little bit there.
It's a lot of work.
That was. You feel tired? You got the,
Yeah, it's so much fun though.
I bet it
I
is.
want to go do it again.
What about the adrenaline rush, right?
Yeah, the first time it wasn't really that weird until the first time both of my feet left the building at the same time. It was like, oh, that's creepy.
Now, you know your mom was watching this whole thing
Yep.
via telepresence.
Yep. Yeah. So, hi, Mom.
So we'll be sure to put this together for her too. So, on behalf of everybody who contributed from the Star Citizen community, from your friends, and from everybody in Austin, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
thing that you
Thanks
did
for making it happen. You guys did great. You guys raised a lot of money for Make-A-Wish, so thank you so much.
And that's Pete Mackay, our very own weather wizard.
Wow, that was cool. I mean, it's amazing what happens when the community gets together for a good cause like Make-A-Wish and Pete. That's some pretty cool stuff. So, Rob's here.
I'm here.
Must be time for what?
Forum
Feedback! Exactly. Let's get right to it. From Ruben, the completionist 02, he says, will the 24-hour stream be dual hosted in Austin and LA, or will some of the Austin office head here to LA for it? Good question. You know what? He must be in LA if he's saying here for it.
Yeah.
You know, Ruben, we're probably going to be doing both locations. More of a telethon kind of thing, back and forth, you know, together. There'll be some people that want to come be part of it in LA, and some people want to come be part of it in Austin. So it's going to be this one big experience. We're actually designing how that works now. It's only a week away, so you want to make sure you get there. So we'll be there. There'll be ways to talk back and forth with each other. We're got to make it work. We just got to figure out the logistics. From Bluntos, he says,
Hey, Wingman. I wanted to ask you if RSI would consider offering an identity provider service, much like, for example, Google. It would be nice if Star Citizen players could use the RSI credentials to access community websites.
We already talked about that a little bit when we introduced the new website. When we talked about the new website coming online, we are going to have a single login that is shared between the game and the website.
Right.
I'm not sure what else we would offer that would log
yeah,
into.
like community stuff and stuff. I'm not sure how that would all work. I know we do the Star Citizen cards for entry into events, although if you don't have a Star Citizen card, you got there too late, you can still print your account or come in anyway. We're not an exclusive. Well, we are exclusive. We're inclusive is the word I'm trying to use. I'm butchering the English. Yeah, it is. From Baconzitos. From Baconzitos, can we take video footage of the game when Alpha Beta comes and post it on YouTube? What do you think?
They're going to, aren't they?
I know they are. It's kind of it's a very much a Chris question, right? But
That is a Chris
I think
question.
he'd be perfectly just guessing. I mean, we want to grow the audience.
Yeah.
And make it good footage.
Yeah, don't
if there's bad footage or glitches and stuff, I wouldn't post that because you guys are part of the community. You're helping us out. So making sure it's the good stuff. Yeah, of course you're gonna be able to post it.
Don't suck.
No, don't. That's right. That's right. The same.
We have a
the same
theme.
rule applies for the sound recordings. Don't suck. From Dark Noodles, he says, "Will there be node traveling as in freelancer? If so, we could shut down a nice node." Oh, I'm butchering this.
Whoa.
I'll try it again. Will there be node traveling as in freelancer? If so, we could shut a node down to attack a convoy or such. it's not really going to be like Freelancer, is it?
No.
It's although you will be able to blockade certain things, but from what I understand, but what I understand is that you're not necessarily going to come out exactly the same spot. So we don't want people to gang up and grief a lot of people coming through like they do in other games.
Jump point campers suck.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. From M. Palman and Sarzu, this is a cool video. Check this out.
Okay, did you do it?
Exterminate.
Need some calibrations.
Yes.
Dear Wingman, will there be additional shipboard computers and will you and Brittany consider voicing them?
That's pretty cool stuff. They're very, very creative.
Very creative.
So how will there be other shipboard computers?
We're just working on avionics this week. So yeah, there are going to be some really, really interesting upgrades you can put on your ship's computer, and probably some of them will include voices. Again, if they don't suck.
Well, that's right. The rule applies to Brittany. It applies to me.
Absolutely.
If we suck, we're not going to be in the game.
No, turn left, you idiot.
Who are you that flies so well? How did that person get
That sucked.
That did suck, but it's like lore now. It's like all your base belong to us, or Leroy Jenkins. Those kind of.
Who are you who fly so good?
Who are you that fly so good? Do you know who did that? Who was that?
Gilbert.
Oh man,
Gilbert wrote that. I don't know who did the voice.
So funny. I mean, it's so funny. It's so bad. From Raider Football 11 says, "When can we get our greasy paws on the star map?" We have the star map hanging on the wall in there.
Redacted, yeah. Everyone who's come to visit has seen it.
There might actually be, just so you'll know, Greasy Paw Man, there might actually be some stuff coming up on the 24-hour live stream that shows, I don't know, maybe a 3D representation, perhaps, of the star map.
Ooh.
Maybe. I don't know what's coming. You just have to wait and see.
Say it ain't so.
And from one of our favorite videologists, who has a running gag or running serial with Legate, Ken Shadow, what do you got?
Wingman! It's Ken Shadow again from DreadCitizen.com. I had to eject from my ship and parachute down to the planet. Quick question, are there any restrictions on the types of ships that you can have as your wingman? Could you, say, flying a Constellation, have a Constellation wingman? Or perhaps be flying a fighter and have a cargo vessel? Well, it looks like here it comes.
Ooh,
nice.
Man, I hope he's okay there.
I hope he had insurance.
He was clearly shot down, and
yeah,
he made his way down. So, what was the question again? Because that was such a good video. Are there any restrictions on the type of ships you can rent with your wingman?
No, why not? Why? It's a sandbox, man. You can put any ship with any other ship. I mean, it may not make a lot of sense.
So you might be able to rent an NPC that can be a cargo hauler for you or something like that.
Sure, why not?
I mean, that's exactly right. There shouldn't be limitations. No. We should be the unlimiting game, as much limited. Hey, here's one question from Overlord. He says, "Are we going to learn a few words of German for Gamescom?"
9.
Tika taka, hoi, 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 liktabaka. Yes, absolutely. We're going to be coming over there and maybe shooting a few of you fans on the show. So, can you say Biergarten?
Oh yeah.
It's better than kindergarten.
It's a running thing.
Beer garden, I know, right? Well, so that's this week's forum feedback. And now it's time for MVP, our MVP post with Brittany Godfrey.
Thanks, Eric. This week's MVP goes out to Wouter Gronin, who started the unofficial Star Citizen wallpaper thread. It's a short thread now, but I suspect after today, it's going to grow a little longer. Join in and post your fan-created wallpaper. Thanks, Wouter. You've made the most valuable post. Back to you, Eric.
Thanks, Brittany. And now it's time for Wide World News. One of the greatest challenges facing future astronauts is the high level of radiation in deep space. The Earth is protected by that radiation by the magnetosphere, which absorbs and deflects it away and keeps us safe. One recent NASA mission improved scientists' understanding of the hazards of space. NASA's Mars Curiosity rover began its scientific discoveries before it even landed on Mars. On its way to the Red Planet, Curiosity's radiation assessment detector measured the high-energy radiation from within the capsule that enclosed the rover. These measurements will help NASA protect future astronauts when they fly within spacecraft and are exposed to deep space radiation. It turns out that traveling to deep space is equivalent to receiving a full-body CT scan every 5 or 6 days. By using Curiosity's data, NASA is learning exactly how much shielding is required to protect its astronauts. Quite a bit of shielding, unfortunately. And now let's take a look back in time with This Week in Space.
Another of America's spectacular series of achievements in space research over the Mojave Desert. The X-15 rocket plane is carried to a height of 45,000 feet by its mother craft. Then the rocket plane cuts loose, and on a 4-minute burst from its rocket engine, it soars to a height of nearly 25 miles to the very fringe of outer space, higher than man has ever ventured before. At 131,000 feet, test pilot Major Robert M. White saw the Earth below, the blue of the sky, and the deeper hue of space itself. The record flight of Major White is but another stage in the program that may culminate with a rocket plane actually flown into its own orbit.
And that is a look at your Wide World News. And now, a hazy look with our own Mark Skelton.
So why is it that bra is singular and panties are plural?
Yeah, baby, a good one. If you have a hazy thought for Mark, submit it to this thread right here. And we just might feature it on Wingman's Hangar. Keep it original and keep it hazy. And now it's time for our own Sandy Gardner to interview Ben Lesnick. Take it away, Sandy.
Hey everybody, I'm here with Ben Lesnick, our community manager and game designer. Hello,
Hey,
Ben.
Sandy, good to see you.
And Ben, can you tell us a little bit about your background?
Oh, absolutely. Like you, I'm one of Cloud Imperium's earliest employees. Been here so long that they didn't have a video interview for me when you guys met me initially, so
True.
Here we are. I came on in June or July to help everybody plan this before Star Citizen even had a name. I've been working with Chris on the website, on the game design, planning events. I've had my fingers in everything. Everything. It's been a crazy ride. I was working in education when I started here. I was an administrator in a public school system, and ended up spending all my nights working on Star Citizen for a couple months. And then when the funding was a big success, I came down here to Austin to be here full time.
Hired him as soon as we could. And it was pretty silly. You've played Chris Roberts games before. I know the answer to this.
Oh, absolutely. I've been a Wing Commander fan since the start. I've run the Wing Commander community for since 1995 now. That's how Chris knew me. I can remember, in fact, I was looking back at my old internet journal posts from 2003, and I would post things like, "Oh my God, Chris Roberts emailed me today! I'm so excited!" I don't get as excited anymore when Chris emails me because we hear from him a lot.
That's true.
But
with work to do.
Yeah. No, but it's been an amazing ride. It's fantasy come true so far.
And what are you looking forward to in Star Citizen?
The multi-crewed ships are the big thing for me. That's something I've never seen in a space game. It's going to be like playing Star Wars. I can't wait to get my buddies in my seat next to me and manning the turret and escorting me a little fighter. It's going to be an amazing experience.
All right. I might have to buddy up with Ben Lesnick. Thanks, everybody.
And here he is right now. Hey, Ben, how you doing?
Hey, great. Hey, everybody. Good to talk to you all again.
Now, now you were on one of the original episodes of Wingman's Hangar.
We don't talk about that.
Was that? Oh, there was a faux pas in that episode. Was that episode 2? 2? Don't go watch it. It might be on YouTube. I don't know. Just saying. So how did you come to be involved with Star Citizen?
I've been a Wing Commander fan since the beginning of 1990. I've been running the Wing Commander community since 95. And every time Chris Roberts had a project, he would kind of come to me and say, hey, if this works, can you help me out? And finally this one took off. I've been with Cloud Imperium since last July.
Since July. That's right. And you've been doing... So pretty much, for people that don't know, a lot of the comlink stuff that's written... It's your stuff.
Yep. Almost anything on the comlink has some of me in it. I mean, there's a lot of Chris, but yeah, I am all over the comlink.
Yeah, and Ben, I mean, and his writing is fantastic. It's prodigious. I mean, during the 24-hour live stream, you were like just cranking stuff out, and it's really good stuff. You do a really, really good job.
I appreciate that. Yeah, that stream was crazy. It was come up with a new ship, come up with a new planet. We said we're going to set these $100,000 goals, and we'll have a new planet every $100,000. And I said, okay, well, I'll go ahead and I'll make like 5 of them, so we'll have them in the can. And you guys.
In about 20 minutes,
yeah,
you need a number 6.
6, oh no.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
We're very thankful, though. I mean, it was amazing. I think what it did is it validated how our, we've liked space games forever and how many of us there are out there.
Yeah, it's taking it back from the publishers that have been saying, you can't do this kind of game. Nobody cares about this kind of game. Well, $10 million says people do care.
That's right, and we're on the way up. So, I mean, we only need 20. I mean, come on. Just kidding. It obviously is proving that we are a viable product, and Chris has done an amazing job. I think Chris is obviously the vehicle for us because he's got the cachet and people know who he is. Know he does really, really good stuff, and we're lucky to be part of this. I think honestly,
he's got the vision. I don't think you could do a space game without Chris Roberts. If EA wanted to come back and do Wing Commander, it just wouldn't be the same.
Not the same. I mean, he literally drives the entire vision, and he doesn't settle for second best, and it's just amazing that way.
Yeah, he's everywhere.
He's like, he could be here.
Yeah, we're gonna get notes on this interview.
That's probably right. So it says you met your fiance on Twitter.
That's right. Yes, she followed me on Twitter, and that's how we met. She thought I was hilarious, and
so that's how you met your
fiance. Yeah, that's how we met
on Twitter.
On Twitter, yep.
So usually it's like one of those what the heck, you have the Christian Mingles or something, all those kind of sites out there. That what are the other ones called? Matchmaker?
I wouldn't know.
Match.com. Oh, Riri. And so you met her on Twitter. That is really that's strange and cool at the same time. And also you build PCs, but not like the high end ones.
Yeah, I build incredibly low end PCs. So I look at the specs for what was the max spec for the original Wing Commander. It's like if you had a 486, this game's amazing, and if you had a Roland sound card, so I figure out whatever the awesome stuff that I couldn't afford when I was 12 was, and I put together PCs based on that.
I might have a lot of that old stuff lying around. I should probably bring it in and just give it to you because
that would be awesome.
Yeah, because I think I have a lot of creative blasters, sound blasters, and Roland cards and game cards. Remember the game cards?
Yeah, you could do multiple joysticks. I've got a VR helmet from 1994.
Oh man.
It's for playing Wings of Glory, if anyone remembers that.
Oh, Wings of Glory. I loved that game, actually. That wasn't the one where you could hear the canvas stretching and stuff on there?
Yeah, it's a lot like what we're doing with the Oculus Rift. You can look around the cockpit, and it's surprising how cool it was then.
Yeah, and that's I'm happy the joysticks are coming back because I think a lot of people have gotten used to doing this, and this is just as much fun. And there's I can't wait for the Winglet to try that out. He's got a new joystick. We're gonna get that
joystick, throttle setup, rudder pedal.
There you go. Yeah. And you are getting married though. Just so it does happen. We still can get married even if we have this dork out thing in the house, right? So
well, I'll tell you, when she got to my apartment in Austin, I had a 6 foot tall stand up of Mark Hamill and Wing Commander posters everywhere, and so Mark Hamill's in the closet now, and we have a Wing Commander themed guest bathroom.
You know what? I don't think I have anything. I have all my stuff is pretty much in storage now. I mean, it's like I have a closet, and in the back are all the game consoles ever made. All some PC. I have 100. You've seen the games I have in my hallway.
Yeah. I'm envious of your hallway game collection.
That's only like a third, if even that. I mean, it's got a huge game collection. So, and the Austin, the library, the local repository has been after me to give up my games, but because I have like the original Ultimas, I read Wing Commanders, all those things, and Mobius. Just all kinds of crazy Origin stuff from back in the day,
There's actually a Ben Lesnick collection at that library.
Did you really donate?
I've been scanning all the old Origin development docs, and then I hand them off to the library afterwards. So
scanning them.
Yeah.
So you're keeping them
I'm
yourself.
keeping copy, and then but you can go and check out documents from the Ben Lesnick Wing Commander collection.
That is really actually pretty cool. Now you're a big space history buff too. So
yep.
What's that about? You travel around or?
Oh, I mean, I've always been into space history. My senior thesis in college was Johnson administration Apollo program. But yeah, I've been trying to travel around and see all the American spacecraft. I'm about 70% there. Got to get out to LA, see the shuttle that's there, and there's a museum in Kansas.
Well, that's recent, right? They just moved that shuttle out there. Yeah. So you can be like 100%, and all of a sudden they put something else you got to get to. And so, you've been to NASA, I guess, in Houston?
Oh, yeah.
Seen the Saturn V. They finally enclosed that, which makes it a much better experience in the summer because it was crazy down there.
Yeah. It was scary seeing it kind of decay over the time. So
now, you have some ridiculous things in your Wing Commander collection. So why don't you tell people a little bit about you?
Let's see, and this is actually somehow still displayed in my living room. There's a Wing Commander 4 candy bar.
That's not probably going to be good to eat anymore.
No, it's kind of disgusting, but I put it in a little glass box. I have a pair of Freddie Prinze Jr. socks, which I found on eBay.
Was it a certificate of authenticity?
That is a certificate of authenticity.
For Freddie Prinze Jr. socks.
Yeah. It was like $6 too, so it was,
what a bargain!
About the same price as regular socks, I guess. So.
Somebody else could. Well, that hey, you probably have the only pair of those around.
Yeah, put them in a frame.
Cool. Now we are hosting the Wing Commander movie in October, right? We're going to do some sort of event. We're going to announce.
Details forthcoming, but we are having a Star Citizens event this October.
Citizen Con.
Citizen Con, yeah.
Yeah, I like the sound of that.
So make your travel plans.
And I think I got to give Sandy credit. I think she actually coined Citizen Con, either her or Chris. And I'm going to give Sandy credit; she's prettier. So, who knows? It definitely wasn't me. So listen, you've got a big important job here as well. You're also on the design team.
Yep. I've helped out a lot with the design the last few months.
Amazing. We're very lucky to have you. Ben's doing a good job. I want to thank him for joining us here today. Thanks again to subscribers and for helping us do this, and pledgers for allowing us to even exist as a company. Coming up next week, 24-hour live stream.
Absolutely.
Can you believe that? Unbelievable.
It's going to be a big deal.
It's huge. We've got a lot of reveals. We're working out the logistics of how it's all going to come, together. And
hope I don't fall asleep again.
I'm sure you will. Yeah, that was my takeaway from the first one. Right. It was fun though. That and the drunk angry Billy and some other stuff we had. It was crazy. You guys, if you missed it, you don't want to miss this one. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Whenever we post something on the Comlink or Facebook or wherever it is, we always make the video. We put it on YouTube channel. You'll get alerted. Make sure you join. The 300 brochure comes out later today. And there might be some other stuff, which I don't just want to mention. But the 300 brochure looks amazing. Next week, Wingman's Hangar will be followed by the 24-hour live stream. And don't forget the after show, Wingman's Hangover. Since I'm not here, it's going to be hosted by...
I'll be here.
Ben's going to be here. So join him in the chat room and talk about how we did on the show. Probably a little better than Wingman's. What was the first show called? What was it called?
Nope.
Yeah, well, it was called Wingman's Nuts, but we got usurped and it's now Wingman's Hangar. Better for everybody, I think. Don't you agree?
Yeah, well, we took the old name and we shaved it down.
Oh, no, you didn't. Cut! Just kidding. If you want your stuff featured on Wingman's Hangover, send it in. We just might use it. We'll see ya in the verse.